This is an excerpt of a recent Power Up webinar on multicam editing in Adobe Premiere Pro. Hi, my name is Larry Jordan. In this excerpt, I explain why storage is more important than your computer for multicam editing, and the 3 storage criteria that multicam editing demands regardless of which video editing software you use. And the third key concept, it isn't obvious, but your storage is much more important than computer speed when editing multicam clips. And there are 3 storage factors you need to consider: capacity, bandwidth, and seek times. Now, capacity is obvious. You need to have room to hold your media. And bandwidth refers to the speed of your storage, which we also call the data transfer rate between the storage and the computer. Now, bandwidth is important because each angle is a separate video file, a separate stream of video. In general, a single spinning hard drive transfers data about 175 megabytes a second. An SSD transfers data about 400 megabytes a second. An NVMe SSD, which is the latest version, transfers data between 1,500 and 2,500 megabytes per second, while a RAID can transfer data from 450 megabytes to 2.75 gigabytes per second. And that 2.75 gigabytes is the maximum transfer rate of both Thunderbolt 3 and the upcoming Thunderbolt 4. It's important that you always store your multicam media on your fastest storage. And here's why. If we look at video that's UHD, that's 4K, 30 frame a second, video with stereo audio shot on an iPhone using HEVC, which is the smallest file size we can create, it's about 7 megabytes a second. ProRes 422 proxy is 23 megabytes a second. ProRes 422 is 74 megabytes per second. If we look down at RED, 120 megabytes per second. Well, that's fine, but that's only one stream, and we never do multicam with just a single stream of video. If we look at 4 streams or even 8 streams for ProRes 422, we're looking at almost 300 megabytes a second, or almost 600. This starts to limit the kind of storage that we can use to effectively edit a multicam clip. Now, the more highly compressed a video format is, the harder it is to edit in a multicam clip. And these formats include AVC HD, which is H.264, HEVC, which is H.265, and some MPEG-4 clips. These highly compressed formats require the CPU to work even harder just to be able to display an image. This is why optimizing media, meaning transcoding, and using proxies are so helpful. They convert video from a complex, hard to decompress format into a format which is more efficient for the computer to handle. We've talked about capacity, we've talked about bandwidth, but seek time is also important. This is the time it takes to move the heads of a spinning hard disk from one position to another. The more streams that are playing at the same time, the faster the hard drive heads need to jump from one clip to another to keep up. Now, SSDs and SSD RAIDs are preferred for multicam editing because they have no moving parts, which means no seek time. And they also deliver data 3 to 10 times faster than a hard disk drive. So if multicam editing is something you plan to do a lot of, invest in an SSD RAID. They're expensive. Yes, they don't hold as much as spinning media, but they have the performance necessary to support even large multicam editing. This was an excerpt of a recent Power Up webinar on multicam editing in Adobe Premiere Pro. For the complete version of this online training, please visit our store at larryjordan.com/store and look for Webinar 296. By the way, when you need to stretch your training dollars, membership in our video training library saves you money and time. You can access all our videos for a low monthly price of only $19.99. That's more than 1,900 movies on a wide variety of subjects. Plus, premium members can download practice media and projects. Our training covers Apple and Adobe software. We update it multiple times each month. And for more information, visit larryjordan.com/membership. And thanks.